Hey guys, it's Sydney from Montgomery Admissions Consulting, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to navigate law school application waitlists. It's summertime, and that means so many of you are on law school application waitlists, and you may be wondering how you even go about navigating it. Well, first, if you haven't seen my video on writing strong letters of continued interest, definitely make sure to check that out, because that's actually the first thing that I'm going to tell you. Once you receive your waitlist offer, you want to make sure that you enthusiastically accept it. And if you get a waitlist offer closer to May or June, you do want to follow up and write a letter of continued interest as soon as possible, expressing your strong desire to stay on the waitlist, why that school is a great fit for you, and including any updates that they may not have when you've submitted your application at first. Now, if you're given a waitlist letter in March, you might not need to submit a letter of continued interest right away, but it's still not a bad idea. You do want to make sure that you are enthusiastically accepting their offer though. What can you do outside of writing a strong letter of continued interest? You want to make sure that you are demonstrating interest. One way to do this is by visiting, whether that be virtually or in person. A visit can say a lot. It means that this isn't just a school that you're on the waitlist for that you don't care about. It means that this is a school that you're investing time, money, and energy in. Now, not everyone can afford to fly across country to visit the school, but that doesn't mean that you can't still communicate with admissions and demonstrate your interest in different ways. And you do want to be asking admissions how you can best demonstrate your interest, because different schools have different rules about how they want you to communicate with them. Not being able to follow instructions or disregarding what they would prefer you to do as a waitlist candidate is absolutely not the way to get accepted into the school. That's not the kind of person they want to bring into their law school class. Now, some people ask me, well, how often is too often to reach out? I think reaching out once a month is perfectly fine. And if you get a different vibe or the school is really encouraging you, maybe every 2 to 4 weeks. You don't want to be bombarding them, but you don't want to stay silent, because I can tell you this, if you do nothing, you will not be admitted off the waitlist. And to understand that, you really have to understand why and how law schools use waitlists. First off, the fact that you're on the waitlist generally means that they do consider you qualified in some way. They believe in your ability to be successful at that school, otherwise they would have just rejected you. But they also want to protect their yield. And so what that means is that, law schools admit a certain number of students, and then they admit a certain number of students for the waitlist in case too many students that they admitted turned them down and went to other schools. They want to make sure that they can always fill their class. So when they put you on the waitlist, it's to make sure that they have enough people to draw from. And to come off the waitlist, they want to make sure that they're giving offers to students that they know are going to accept the offer. How do you become one of those students? You be proactive. They're not going to give the waitlist spot to someone who they haven't heard from in 6 months, because they have no idea if you're going to accept the offer, and they don't have time to be making phone calls to people who are maybe not interested. So here's some other things that you can do. You can keep abreast of all new research that's coming out from that school in the key area of law that you're interested in. If you're interested in child advocacy or education policy and there's a new paper that's come out, well, definitely read it and maybe even contact the professor who wrote it. Now, I'm not saying contact professors and tell them that you're on the wait list and have them try to advocate for you, because, well, one, that's just not their job. And professors don't want to be bombarded by potential applicants. But you can form a genuine connection. You can ask them a specific question about that research. You can tell them you're a prospective law student, because hopefully you will be a law student somewhere. And you can use that connection even if you're not able to go to that school. That can be a connection that you can use to help build your career later, maybe to get advice on different career paths, internships, and how to follow in their footsteps. The thing that you can do is then you can take that conversation that you had and that interaction with the professor, that research, and you can use it as material for a letter of continued interest. You can explain how that conversation and interaction really solidified for you that school X is, the right place to begin your legal career, or how this new research has proven to you that this school really cares about the interests that you care about. If you have family and friends who have gone to that school, ask them about their experiences. Make your letters of continued interest as personal as possible. Because again, when the admissions offices are looking to admit students off the wait list, they're going to be saying, well, this student has friends and family who went there and I know they'll come. This student has traveled and has visited, I know they'll come. This student has been in constant contact with us, I know they'll come. And that's ultimately who they want to give the waitlist offers to. Something else that you might want to do, depending on your LSAT score, is consider retaking it. Only really if you know it's going to go up. And the reason I say this is because survey results said that over 60% of admission deans consider your LSAT and GPA to be a high important factor for accepting you off the waitlist. And because at that point, they're really worried about their admission statistics. They want to protect their medians. So perhaps you were actually just put on the waitlist because your LSAT median wasn't as high as it could have been. And if there's an opportunity to study, let's say you were waitlisted in March, maybe you study and you try to take the LSAT again in June. And if you have a significant increase, that's definitely something you can put in your letter of continued interest, and that may very well be the thing that helps you get off the waitlist. Now, of course, no one can guarantee what action or thing will help you get off the waitlist, and in truth, a lot of that is because they're trying to build a class. It's impossible to tell you what they're looking for or what gaps they may need to fill in their class, and honestly, it's impossible for them to tell you as well. All we can say is that if you do nothing, you absolutely are not going to be admitted. In most cases. Not all cases. But so many people, they hear that they've been waitlisted and they just give up. They take it as a rejection, and it's far from that. In fact, sometimes people are admitted off the waitlist and they still have scholarship offers. A waitlist just means that maybe you've got a longer road ahead of you. And that if it's a school that you really want, if it's a school that is your dream school, you may have to be a little patient. There's no guarantee that you'll get in, but if you're prepared to do some hard work and stick with it for the long haul, you may just be happy. Now, I say all this, but I still think you should put a deposit down at a school. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and hope that you're going to get off the waitlist and end up losing guaranteed spots at schools that you did get into. Put down a deposit. Now, when you put down a deposit, usually it doesn't mean that you have to withdraw from other waitlist offers. So, if you get a waitlist offer later, you're more than welcome to take it. And even when you accept that waitlist offer, there's still really no obligation that you come off of the other waitlists. So it's not a very high-risk situation. But you do want to make sure that you are securing your spot at a law school somewhere, because ultimately the goal is to start your legal career. And you can do a lot from so many schools. There's not just one path to being a lawyer, there's not just one path to success. But you are more than a number, and you are more than a school. You are capable and bright and smart, and as long as you are networking and trying your best and putting forth the effort, you will be successful in your law school dreams. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped give you maybe a little bit of clarity, maybe a little bit of peace of mind as you're thinking about trying to navigate the law school waitlist this summer. As always, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Check out my blog and other YouTube videos for more law school admission tips and tricks. I'll talk to you next time.